Hello, I'm Howard Beckman, and I'm going to talk to you today a little bit about the Vedic science of gemstone therapy. Now, this has two-pronged, shall we say, affair, in that it is utilized mainly in Vedic lore by the astrologers, and by the astrologers, each of the gems is connected to the planets. In Ayurvedic medicine, the gems are more used as medicines themselves, in that they are also made into specially formulated medicines. And in modern times today, there have been amazing advances using them in the clinic in some specially formulated lamps. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the Vedic astrological uses and why and how gemstones can actually help the health physically by wearing a gemstone that is properly recommended for you, and how it can attract certain energies towards you that would benefit you in life in many other areas, say that we might call karmic areas, in such areas as, say, attracting a love partner to us, finding a relationship that is something that not only that we want, but that we want something conducive, that we want to find somebody that shares our interests. So it really all depends on the Vedic horoscope to use as a system of analysis. And at the same time, the astrologer has to be very capable. He has to be someone who's experienced as well as knowledgeable, but also very, very intuitive. There is no discounting the intuition of an astrologer as well when making the best choices. But some of these things are pretty much textbook, as we might say, those of us that really understand the science. And the different planets are said to have their different gems. Ruby is said to carry the same cosmic energy as the planet, the sun. Pearl is said to carry the cosmic energy of the moon. Red coral, that of Mars. Emerald, that of Mercury. Yellow sapphire, that of the planet Jupiter. Diamond, as well as white sapphire, often used as a very, very good substitute, is said to carry the rays emanated by the planet Venus. Blue sapphire is utilized to conduct the rays of the planet Saturn. Now, hessonite garnet, often called gomed, is used for the north node of the moon, called Rahu in Sanskrit. And chrysoberyl cat's eye, not other types of cat's eye, but chrysoberyl cat's eye is used to conduct the infrared rays that are conducted through the south node of the moon, called Ketu in Vedic astrology or in Sanskrit. Now, if one's horoscope shows that any of these planets are somewhat weakened, then wearing the gem can very much strengthen these rays. And if we strengthen these rays, then we can increase the energy indicated in the horoscope by the houses that these planets rule. So if the sun rules your first house or your rising sign or your ascendant, and it shows that the sun is a little bit weak, well, indeed, by wearing that ruby, we may increase your health, we may increase your self-confidence, it may also increase simply the way in which your personality comes across to others in a much more beneficial way. Pearl is generally for the moon, as I said, and it's very calming for the emotions, extremely calming. Red coral is not always called for the planet Mars, because sometimes planets are afflicted. And especially when we deal with planets like Mars or Saturn, who can cause difficulties, as we say in a person's life, we have to be very careful with applying these gems. But red coral can be incredibly invigorating. It's also said to restore potency to a man who is impotent. Blue sapphire can also be extremely analgesic. It can be wonderfully calming as well, and very, very healing for the body and for the mind. Now, emerald is a gem that is said to heal many, many maladies. It is said in many scriptures that it heals all types of boils and sores on the body, skin diseases, and we have found today that it actually has a very wonderful healing effect on the mind, as well as on organ problems, internal organ problems. But the planets that rule particular houses, if we strengthen them with these gems, They will help also, as I said, on a karmic level to bring about more of the circumstances that we desire in life in a more beneficial way. Now, diamond or white sapphire is for Venus, and Venus, of course, rules the love life. It, of course, rules many other things depending on what houses in the horoscope Venus rules. So it's impossible to say, well, one gem is going to be good for everyone. That wear this gem and it will be very, very good for this particular thing or that particular thing. Because it is really necessary that a learned astrologer, one who's very experienced, analyzes the horoscope for gems. Now with Ayurveda, to recommend any of the medicines, it is absolutely necessary, first of all, that they're prepared correctly, that they're prepared in laboratories that not only are up to the highest standards, shall we say, of cleanliness, or that are certified to not have any kind of harmful heavy metals and such things, but the Ayurvedic practitioner or doctor themselves must be very, very, very experienced in knowing how to apply them, because otherwise they can be quite dangerous. Now, the Ayurvedic gem therapy that uses the gem lamps, this is something else indeed. There can be no malefic or harmful effects from it whatsoever. And the benefits, absolutely phenomenal. We have seen benefits that we could never have imagined using gems in any way, having to do with illnesses, having to do with burns on the skin, having to do with severe emotional distress, and especially using them in the lamps allows us to use gems that normally we might not be able to use on a person. So in other words, as I said before, if Mars or Saturn is causing problems in a person's horoscope, we cannot use that gem, because a gemstone will increase the planetary rays. But in the lamps, we can use any gem to help the health and to help the entire physical and emotional well-being of a person. So gem therapy is a very, very in-depth subject, and I hope you will try to investigate it a little bit further, for there is no one that cannot be helped using gem therapy in many ways in their lives, whether that's in wearing gems to actually attract certain influences towards them, or in the healing methodology of Ayurveda, using gems in a clinical environment to heal disease or to bring about greater well-being in a person's life. Please visit our website, www.vedicworld.org, to find out more about this and other subjects about ancient Vedic knowledge. Thanks for listening.